Hey, what is going on, everybody? Hope you guys are having a wonderful night. If you can hear me, as always, please let me know in the comments just to make sure the audio's okay. We got a fun show. What's up, Terry? Terry already chiming in. What's up, buddy? We got a fun show tonight. A little different. So we don't taste a lot of Canadian whiskey, and a lot of people don't get too excited about it. So our good friends at Found North sent me, audio's good. Perfect. Thanks, buddy. Our good friends at Found North sent us this latest release called Helldiver. And this sold out on Sealbox in less than a minute, I heard. So we're going to taste that tonight. And then I have two other offerings from Found North that we're going to taste. So this Helldiver is aged, I think the youngest whiskey in here is 15, but there's up to 23-year-old whiskey in here. So now, despite the age, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's not dark at all, as you probably imagine. The mash bill on it is 85% corn. I think that's what that says. 14% rye, 1% barley. So I'm interested to dive into that. See what I did there? See how good it is. To warm up, since we're doing Canadian whiskey tonight. I normally, guys, I'm not a big fan of Whistle Pig, but this A1 pick that Narav and the gang did is so fantastic. So for my warm-up pour, that's what I'm doing. If you guys want to have a pour something interesting, not the same old stuff. Let's see. Audio does have a slight crackle or in a box sound, hard to describe. Interesting. Let me see if I can fix that. Let's see here. I'm going to say hey to you guys in the chat here in a little bit, so feel free to say hey. Tell me what you're sipping on. Terry, let me know if that helped at all or not. I don't know that it did. All right. So I got lots we're going to go over all there's been a lot of releases lately for bourbon. So, or upcoming releases, I should say. So lots of news to go over. We'll go over all the upcoming releases. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. There's some expensive bottles coming out. So cheers, everybody. Hope you're having a good week. That's my first, man, that is, this pick is like apple cider, man. It is so crazy. They called it Apple Orchard is the name of the pick, but it is like apple cider, and then has a little bit of like musty oak to it, just a touch, not too much. Actually makes it kind of complex and interesting. But man, I love this pick, and I'm not a huge Whistle Pig fan, so man. Well, with that news, let's talk about, I don't know if you guys saw this. This is the latest, one of the latest releases coming out since I'm having Whistle Pig. This is the best name of anything of any release I've ever heard. Whistle Pig coming out with a 25-year single malt, and they're calling it Badonkadonk, and that's not a joke. I heard this on a podcast, and I thought the name was a joke. Apparently, it's not. So big props to Whistle Pig for calling it that. It's amazing. I did also hear this bottle, I think, is like $2,000. So in true Whistle Pig fashion, it's priced through the roof. I'll never buy it or taste it. I just found it funny. So, all right, talk to you guys a little bit about what's coming up, in our world, in my specific bourbon world. Next Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, we had our Dark Arts release come in, and we bought 2 barrels for Barrels for Hope. One is a 7-year MGP finished in white port, and it was a short barrel. We had 84 bottles. We sold out of those. It's an amazing pick. But then we also had another 7-year MGP, but this was a unique mash bill of 51% corn, 49% rye out of MGP. And this is Dark Art's first Sherry Oloroso release. So we sold out of those. Well, we have 9 bottles left. So if you're interested, and I didn't announce this live stream or anything tonight. I just wanted this for the regulars. If you're interested in that, it'll be $99.99 plus tax and shipping. So it's up to you whether you think that's worth it or not. But if you want, you can email me at lance@barrelsforhope. Again, we only have 9 bottles left, so I'll just reply to you guys in the order I get them. Basically, when those go out, you'll get an email with an invoice. All the profits, we were able to buy those barrels at wholesale, so all profits are going to our charity organizations that we donate to every year. And this year we're going to donate $40,000 to charity. So all of our barrel picks, all the proceeds go to charity. So if you're interested more in that, you can go to barrelsforhope.com and you can read about our charity organization that me and some other Whiskey Tube channels started after my wife recovered from cancer. So something we're very proud of, and it's been fantastic first year. So if you guys are in Barrels for Hope already, thank you. I cannot wait to get those picks in your guys' hands. You're going to freaking love them. So let me say, hey, Terry, did the audio get any better, or is it still not good? Ratio says he likes Whistle Pick 12. Oh, okay. He did say it sounds better. Okay, cool. Steve K, still haven't had a pour of Whistle Pig yet. Where should I start? Well, everybody's budget's different. It is pretty expensive for what you get, I think. But if you can find a store pick, I've found those are the ones I really like. I don't know where you're at, Steve, but if you're in Illinois, A1 Liquors in Effingham, Illinois, they always do fantastic picks. They might even still have some bottles of that. I think they might even be getting another Whistle Pig pick pretty soon. But I could be wrong. But yeah, I love the Whistle Pig rye picks. This is a 10-year rye, and it's really, really good. Especially if you like apple juice, man. that's the one. Terry sipping on some 15-star triple cask. Nice. I haven't had that. Gary Botchman said audio a bit muffled. Man, I wonder what that's for. I don't know, guys. Let me try one more thing here. If the audio is muffled. All right, let me know if that made things better or worse. Or didn't change at all. Oh, nice, Terry. You're coming to help Saturday. Awesome, man. We'll have to pop some of those picks. I'm so excited to get my hands on those, man. So good. Jim Hansen, Wilderness Trail currently. Nice. Sitting on front porch watching the storm roll. Is it storming in Champaign? No, not storming yet. I don't think. I think maybe storm's supposed to hit here in the morning, early morning. Let's see. Yeah, it says there's a slight chance at like 4 or 5 a.m. But I mowed after work. I mowed, and then we put together. I got a new griddle, so I've got a offset smoker, and never had a griddle, so I'm excited to get that rolling this weekend and experiment with that. If you guys have a griddle, what's up, bud? I'll be there helping on Saturday for the package party. Looking forward to the Dark Arts. Heck yeah, man. Awesome. I can't wait. Cheech is in the house. What's up, buddy? Cheers, man. Hope you're doing well. Mostly when I'm talking louder. All right, let me try turning the volume down a little bit. Maybe we're just peaking a little bit. Man, I don't want you guys to have to listen to muffled audio. That's no good. Let me see. Man, I didn't change anything from last time. Not that I'm aware of. Hold on just a second. Okay. Let me try that. Is that better or worse? Brad Recca having a pour of Dietrich Bell of Dayton. I don't know what that is. Never heard of that, man. Okay. Brian says audio better. Man, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry about that. All right. All right. Everybody's saying better. All right. Sorry about that. Man, I hate that. Terry griddles are awesome. Tacos, veggie stir fry. Yeah, man, I'm excited. My wife's really excited. My wife's so cool. She was like, for Mother's Day, I want you to get a griddle. I was like, okay, deal. Uh, Jim Hansen, my wife doesn't quite understand why I have so many smokers, grills, griddle. I know, man. I know. I have an offset smoker that I freaking love. And then I got this griddle. I need to get a Weber as well, probably. But I'm running out of room back there, so it's so much fun though. It was hard to keep the weight down when you're eating so good. All right, so we got the dark arts coming in. I think I'm not positive, but we're supposed to do a Jack Daniel's barrel proof pick for A1. Is that next week? That might be next week too. And then Elijah Craig barrel proof pick for Barrels for Hope on the 20th. I'm not going to be on that because we're going to North Carolina to see my daughter. But man, we have got some great picks coming up. Let's see. John, Old Forester 1920. Nice, man. All right, let's get these new releases going. Let's see. So I'm sure you guys have seen this. This came out today, started hitting the news. Not that any of us are going to see it, or maybe someone watching will get one of these. If you do, send me a sample. But the Weller Millennium. So I saw this announced today. I'm pretty sure that it's true. It's not. It's not one of these made up April Fools things. Um, but yeah, distillation year. So it's a blend. 3% of a 2000. So it's got some 24-year whiskey in there. 50% of a 2003, 40% of a 2005, 7% of a 2006. And I believe, I can't see it, but I think this was 99 proof. I have no idea what the cost on that is going to be, but yeah, I'm not excited about it. I could care less about it just because I'm not going to get it. So it doesn't really matter to me one way or another. How are you guys feeling about that release? Terry said, "Hey, I'll fill in your spot for the EC pick." Yeah, so when we had the last Barrels for Hope live stream, I already knew I couldn't go, and we picked all the people to go on that, but we were able to. I think we sent 4 on that pick with our pick team, so I'm sure they will do fantastic without me. So last time it was so easy; it was a unanimous vote. It was for the founders pick. That was a simple pick to do. Unlike the dark arts where we were fighting between the white port and the Oloroso sherry, and then we ended up just buying both. So that made it pretty simple. Makes it simple when you just buy both. Chad, rich people BS whiskey. It's not a viable option for waters. Yeah, that's right. It's not. It's not a viable option for me. That's for sure. Oh. Mm. Only time I can hope to taste something like that is at our whiskey festival, whiskey mash at A1 Liquors. We do it every September, and we have so many bottles. I mean, I get to taste almost everything. I mean, when I say everything, like we had Michter's 25 there one year, and I think I got 2 or 3 pours of that, which was nuts. Um, I can. That's the time I can just taste a bunch of whiskeys just for reference points. It's a blast, man. Jim says, "Yeah, no chance on that Weller. Can't imagine how much." Oh man, I can't either, especially on secondary. I mean, I don't even know what that would run. It's crazy. All right, next one, next new bottle. Um, I don't know why I'm excited about this, but I am. I'm interested just because number one, like Jim Beam has been doing some good things lately. I love those. I love the Claremont, the hard, all the Hardens Creeks have been fantastic. This isn't in that realm; it's a lot lower proof, but I am intrigued by this. I don't know if you guys are or not. The Jim Beam Winter Reserve. Now I think it's like yeah, it's 86 proof, so it's really low proof. 6 years old. I'm interested in it. I don't know. I don't know. I will probably buy a bottle of that and review it. I'm always excited when a bottle's going to come out that's not going to be too expensive and break the bank. So I don't know. How you guys feeling about that one? I doubt many people are too excited about it, but anytime I see a tasting note of clove, I'm intrigued. I love when I get that note in whiskey. But a lot of times, some of those tasting notes are just silly. So. Uh, all right, guys, we're going to get into this tasting. This Whistle Pig is great. A1 did a fantastic job. All right, let me get these Found Norths up here. So, what's the proof on these? We've got 116, 128. Wow, okay. So, this first one we're going to do is the aged 8 years. I think this is batch 5. So, we'll get a pour of that. Any of you guys had Found North? We had the one of the founders on. Great guy, super nice guy. Really interesting entrepreneurial spirit. I think his dad had a business and then he got into whiskey. I love the bottles. Bottles are really cool. Let's see. This first one with Found North. Distilled in Canada, 73% corn, 27% wheat. Now, if I remember correctly, I think that they have like their distillate will be 100% corn, and then another barrel will be 100% wheat, and then they blend those two. So it's not like the mash bill was 73% corn, 27% wheat, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I talked to them. But again, yeah, this is batch 5, and I think there is whiskey. 70% of this, it says 8 years on it, but 70% of this is 21 years old, and 27% is 8-year-old whiskey. So it's actually pretty old compared to the age statement. Um, the thing, if I remember right, about Found North, I really like Found North, but it just lacks some of the complexity that you're looking for in bourbons. So the nose really nice, it's sweet. Definitely some of that like corn dustiness. Uh, excuse me. Proof's coming through. I want to taste the Helldiver last because it's finished in sherry and cognac. So we're gonna save that for last. All right. Let's take our first sip of this. Mm, wow. That's coming off as beautiful, guys. Like an explosion of vanilla and then a nice tobacco note on the back end. Mm, really, really nice. I've been letting that bottle sit on my shelf too long, man. That was a good pour. Let's see. Let me get back up here. Make sure I've seen all everybody. Oh, Steve K said, well or rarely seen in North Carolina. So, I mean, Illinois gets it, but nobody puts it on the shelves here. It does not touch the shelves. Fats Wave, nice name. I think this is the first time I've seen you in here, man. Cheers, buddy. Having a 4-gate toasted private cask and ordered a new Kelvin collab. Nice. Those Kelvin collabs are fantastic from 4-gate. Really love them. Brad Recca, Beam fanboy, so I'd be interested. Proof, not a turnoff. Oh yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know why that bottle interests me. Oh man, that is a beautiful bottle, man. Um, I don't know. They all use the word smooth, don't they? Brad, have a Found North blend of 12, 15, 18-year finishing cognac. Oh man, that sounds. I love cognac, so that sounds good. Terry, yeah, batch 6, I believe. I'll get it and get a pour. Love it. Nice, man. We for Barrels for Hope, we talked about doing a pick of Found North, and I mean myself and Josh with Stuff and Whiskey, we both talked to the founder of Found North. And he's all for it. The only problem is Benny's has them locked down in Illinois. So um I think their contract might end this year, but they are not allowed to sell to anyone but Benny's. So uh the bourbon game's just crazy, man. That's gorgeous. I haven't had that in a long time, and I'm kind of kicking myself now because it's not complex. But sometimes, like I say, um, if I have a really good bourbon and the caramel notes are really strong and I love it, then it doesn't have to be complex. And that's a vanilla bomb with some tobacco, maybe some like chocolate notes, milk chocolate, not dark chocolate. It's not drying. It's it's really nice. Medium finish on this one. Finish isn't going to blow you away, but man, it's really well done. God, that's really nice. Batch 7 actually so good. I think what I say, I forget what I was tasting. Oh, batch 6. I'm getting ready to taste batch 6. If you're still talking about the griddle, smash burgers, Philly cheesesteaks, breakfast, fried rice is where it's at. Yeah, we're gonna do smash burgers this weekend, and then I saw hash brown omelets, so we're gonna do those too. We're gonna try those out. All right, let's get to the next new release coming out. Now, this is gonna excite a lot of our Patreon members, especially Ed Sturgar, Power Bourbon. Be big fans of this, I'm sure. I don't have any idea how impossible it is to get a hold of, but another Jim Beam product here. Booker's the reserves. 8-year, 2 months. So a lot of Booker's is 6 years, 7 years. You're getting up into that 8-year. Says this whiskey is in this package is the highest grade bourbon created here at Beam. It is bottled, uncut, and unfiltered. Um, so it's supposed to be the highest grade of their bourbon. And it could just be a marketing ploy. Could just have some 8-year-old barrels to an 8-year blend, and who knows if it really is the best. But I'll bite. It depends on the price. Booker's is always what is Booker's? $100 nowadays. So um I don't really buy a lot of Booker's because some batches I love. I freaking love them. But then others are total misses. So I usually wait till I actually hear a little bit of buzz about one, and then I'll go buy it. But for $100 at that age and that proof, I'd almost rather just get Knob Creeks at half the price. And that's just where I'm at with Booker's, unless I hear about something good. I don't know the price on that. Maybe you guys in the chat will know. What have you been hearing about the price? I don't know when the release date is, but it's one. I mean, that's one. If I see, I'll definitely pick it up if it's reasonable. Man, that's like there's like this confectionery sugar kind of texture to that whiskey. That's really, really nice. I like that. All right, I'm gonna have to keep these. So again, that was batch 5, 8 years, but 73% of it is 21-year-old whiskey. Um, yeah, that's a nice bottle. All right. This is batch 6, 87% corn, 12% rye, 1% barley, and 17 years. So I believe, I could be wrong on this, but I think this had some 26-year whiskey in it, but I could be wrong about that. I don't see that on the back like I did on the other one. A lot higher proof on this. The proof on this was 120, 128, I think. So a lot higher proof on this. Oh man. That has a lot of the notes the first one had, batch 5 had, but just with some fruit characteristics to it. Let me see if you guys said anything about Booker's. Okay. Brad, have a Found North 12, 15, 21 year finished in cognac, champagne, Benny's pick actually. Nice. What'd they charge for those, Brad? Because I have a feeling Found North is expensive. So we might have to if we do a Found North pick, that might have to be our expensive pick of the year. Batch 7, Terry says batch 7, 83 corn, 16 rye, 1% barley, 131. Freaking awesome. Nice, man. I love that so many of you guys have Found North. True whiskey nerds in the house. True whiskey nerds. I love it. My kind of people. All right. Cheers, everybody. Oh, that's nice. That drink's below its proof. I don't know if your guys' higher proof Found North drink below proof, but that drink's below proof. I might even think that 8 year was a little bit higher blind. Man, they are similar though. It's those like this has that vanilla Laffy Taffy fair taffy kind of thing going on. But like the vanilla taffy, which I love. Gary says, I have Found North Helldiver in my email waiting to purchase, not pulling the trigger until Lance gets it. Oh no, don't do that, man. You might have to tell everybody where it is. I heard this sold out on Sealbox in a minute, in under a minute. So, or maybe you don't want to tell them until after you click buy. This is darker than the first batch. Man, a lot of similar characteristics though. It has even more like dark tobacco, vanilla fair taffy, dark tobacco. That's a thing with Found North. Like, I don't know that they've all got the same DNA. It's kind of like, when you drink Jim Beam or you drink Booker's and it's got those peanut flavor notes, it's got that DNA to it. They all taste marginally different, but not really different unless Found North kind of has that same DNA unless it's finished in something. So, yeah, going back to batch 5 now, it is lighter. Not as dark. I do like this batch 6 better. That's not surprising because it is it's darker in color, but darker in flavor. It's richer, I think. Mm. Nick Reed, cheers, buddy. Sipping on Dark Arts bourbon, finished with toast. Oh, I've heard I don't know how you say it. I'm not even gonna try. whatever that French oak stave is. I've heard those are really good. He actually didn't bring any of those out for us when we were there for the pick. Looking forward to both of the Barrels for Hope Dark Arts picks will be my first ones. Oh yeah, I think I do remember that. Uh, I'm so excited for these, for you guys to get these, man. When we tasted the white port, there were three of us. I mean, there were six of us in the pick. Three of us, when we tasted the white port, like our minds blew. I was like, that is a Fat Kid whiskey, man. That is incredible. So good, so good. So I'm super excited for you guys to get that. The sherry barrel was three other guys' favorite. And that you can't go wrong with either one of them. They're both gorgeous. The white port is more of a like explosion of flavor, and the sherry is more of a dark, probably dark bourbon to probably sip with cigars. Whereas the white port is like a dessert whiskey. Like after you finish dinner, you'd pour that. You'd pour the white port. Two different animals. So it's really, really cool that we were able to get both of those. But I'm excited for it, man. Yeah, Terry, Fat Kid whiskey, man. It's a Fat Kid whiskey. Rad, $99 for Benny's pick. I don't recall exactly, but I don't recall it being too crazy expensive. Oh, nice. Nice. Because I think some of these Found Norths are close to $200. I don't know what the Helldiver is. Terry says batch 7 drinks about 120, 125 for me. It's 131. Yeah, this drinks less than its proof for sure. For sure. All right. Next one we got. Again, another one from Jim Beam. Super excited about. I don't know how hard. I'm assuming this is another one that's going to be impossible to get, but man, if I can just taste it at Whiskey Fest, I will be happy. And that is Old Grandad 16-year, 100 proof. I really got to try to get this bottle, man. I'm excited for it. Sounds fantastic. What do you guys think about that? Old Grandad 16-year. Oh, man. I think that'll be a good bottle. We shall see. All right. Both of those amazing. And they even waxed the sample bottle and everything here. Now, the Helldiver is... I can't read it. It's 116 or 119 proof. We're going to let this open up a little bit since it's finished. That's it right there. Helldiver is a beautiful bottle as well, if you haven't seen it. Let's smell this. There are some dark red fruits coming off on the nose. That smells really good, man. It smells pretty promising. Sealbox offered me to buy it. Helldiver 48 hours to purchase. I'm at 46. Oh, 159 to be delivered in June. All right. Let me let it open up here, and 159, man. It's got to be pretty freaking good for me to pull the trigger. Whew, man. It smells sweet on the nose. All right. Next on bourbons coming out. I'm interested in this too. Let's see here. Remus Babe Ruth. Now, I don't know if that's the actual bottle. I found that on Reddit. I don't know if someone guessed what the bottle was going to be or if that's actually what the bottle's going to look at. I didn't research too much. But if it is, beautiful. I mean, Remus bottles, they usually are that like Art Deco kind of style. That looks like an old decanter bottle. Kind of reminds me like of the James E. Pepper decanter that just came out. So very cool. 111 proof, 111 proof. 12% is a 2016 44% rye. 70% is a 2017 49% rye. Now I'm interested if that's the 4951, which is what our sherry finished dark arts is in. Because we also tried a single barrel of the 5149 MGP mash bill, and it was fantastic, not finished in anything. And then 18% of a 2018 36% rye. So yeah, that's cool, man. That is cool. It's nice to see Remus have a marketing team that knows what they're doing. Because well, we'll see how much that comes out to be, but sounds pretty cool. I'm intrigued by that. Mm. Jim Hansen said that's a nice looking bottle. Yeah, man. Sometimes the old simplistic bottles look the coolest to me. Like that old granddad label. Like that looks awesome, man. It looks old. I love it. I have to see the bottle, but I'm sure that, I'm sure it's gonna be good. All right, let's get into this for Gary. So here we go. Hell Diver, first sip. The first sip was really nice. Let me let that settle and then take another sip. Try to pick out some notes for you guys. It was an explosion of flavor, explosion of red fruits on the first sip. Terry Remus can have some great barrels. Had a single barrel that was a chocolate bomb. Yeah, dude, Remus can knock it out of the park sometimes, man. I've had some great single barrels from them. I've got what is the Remus Gatsby up there? That's gorgeous from it's either last year or the year before. But it's a gorgeous pour. All right, let me take another sip here. Man, that is reminding me a lot of the Whistle Pig single barrel from A1 that I poured first. It's very apple cider forward on the palate. There's also some like dark plum kind of notes to it. I'm gonna take a few more sips. My first right out of the box thoughts is it's really good. If this was like an $85 bottle, just based on taste, not knowing any stats, nothing on paper, just somebody gave it to me, I might think this is an $80 bottle. I don't know if it's a 160 bottle. I know it's got 15-year stuff. I know it's finished. So like the stats support it, right? The stats support the price. 15 years finished in sherry and cognac. So obviously that's going to make it more expensive. So I would expect $160 price tag on something like that, especially at that proof point. But again, you're not talking about bourbon finished in this. You're talking about Canadian whiskey finished in sherry and aged 15 years. Not the same thing, just not as complex. The flavors here are really nice. Really nice. Take another sip. Yeah, that's the same thing with all Found Norths. It almost has that Found North DNA of that like vanilla fair taffy to me. but it pushes more fruity for sure. It's definitely like apple juice or apple cider, but like more leaning towards red apples than green apples. Um, I don't know that it has any of those tobacco notes. Again, it's not very complex. It's good. It's the thing I always find about Found North. I love it. I don't think it's very complex, but it's well balanced. It sits on the palate really nicely. You never get a super long finish. It's always a medium, medium finish. But it doesn't squeeze the shit out of your chest. It goes down really nicely. It's well rounded. There's enough spice there. There's nothing bad about it. It's the price that it always kills me with Found North. And you can't blame Found North for pricing it at what it's priced at. The stats support the price. It's just, is it that quality of a whiskey? If I pay $160 for a whiskey, I mean, for instance, like the Hardin's Creek 17-year Hardin's Creeks are what, 170, somewhere around there, 185, something around there. I mean, those I think are worth it. I would buy those for 170, 175. That's my this is below that for me. Um, but it is different. There's not much on the market like this. It's a little bit unique in that way. The sherry finishing and cognac finishing is light. It's not too much, which is nice too. Although I might even say this might have been able to take a little bit more sherry. Um, I think if you held it in sherry a little bit longer than what it is, I think it might pick up some of those like deep plum kind of tobacco notes that this doesn't really have. This is more like apple cider. It's very appley to me. Um, Very vanilla apple, which is not a bad thing. It's just not $160 good, in my opinion. Terry, yeah, that old granddad label rocks. Looks like a dusty. Yeah, it does. Terry, agree on all your notes on the Found North. Good, but not a long finish and sweet. Yeah, it is sweet. Terry, are you picking up anything else in the Helldiver that I'm not? It's Found North. Every bottle I've tried of theirs has this like cotton candy kind of texture on the nose. I don't know if that makes sense, Terry, if you get that as well. But I don't know how to describe it other than it smells like fresh cotton candy. Now that's all I can think of, to be honest, when I'm smelling this. And the others have that cotton candy note. It's so cotton candy forward, man. But this Helldiver, just a little bit more apple forward. So the more I'm getting into this, the darker notes are coming through. The apple's kind of taking a back seat. I'm getting used to that sweetness, and I am picking up a little bit more sherry on the third sip than I was on the first couple sips. Terry said, "Love it though for a change every once in a while." Oh hell yeah, man! I agree 110%. It is a really nice change of pace whiskey when you've been drinking a ton of bourbon and you're tired of those like just caramel vanilla notes. And or you're tired of just drinking a bunch of Buffalo Trace stuff that tastes a lot of the same. Um, Man, if you like cotton candy though, tell me I'm wrong. Smell these and think of cotton candy. That's that's really nice. I mean, there's nothing not to like about it. It's just the except the price. I think anybody gets that, you're not going to get it and say, "Oh, it's not good." You're only going to say, "I don't know if it was worth the 160 I paid for it." Um, but it's nice, man. Found North blends some great stuff. Terry said, like you said, confectionery sugar. Um, Gary, exactly why I waited. I'm whiskey tornado through and through, so I may get another dark arts and contribute a few more dollars to awesome charities. Hey, there you go, buddy. I know you're gonna like the dark arts. I mean, shit, I'd buy 2 dark arts for the price of one of those any day. Especially one finished. Well, both of them. I mean, either one. But if you're looking for something finished in sherry, and you don't often find, excuse me, you don't often find good bourbons finished in Oloroso sherry and done well. And man, Macaulay is killing it at Dark Arts. He finished that our pick so perfectly in Oloroso sherry. It's gorgeous, man. It's really gorgeous. I'm telling you, I'm so pumped to get these out to you guys. I cannot wait. That's why I wanted to do it. I wanted to send them out on the 27th of April, but we just didn't have enough time to get everything done. So I tried to crunch it in, but didn't work. Yep. I mean, I still stand by that first review. It's good. It's not $160 good. I wish it was. It has the stats to support the price, but it's just that's my thoughts. Uh Terry says definitely get the cotton candy. Yeah, man, it's so strong for me now. Once I identified that note, I cannot get it out of my head. You know, the other thing about the Helldiver is the more I'm sipping it, I don't know what the oldest. I think what I say 15 to 23 years, I believe. I think the oldest is 23. The thing about the Helldiver, if I had to knock it, I can't knock anything other than I think it's a little pricey for the taste, not pricey for the stats. But if I had to knock anything, it is drying the back of my palate out. The other two that I had, the other two Found North batches I had, did not dry my palate out. This dries my palate out a little bit on the back end. Um, so the wood tannins are a little heavy, um, but you don't taste oak. It's just the wood tannins are zapping my palate. But it is so sweet that I think that kind of balances it. But yeah, it's a little too drying for my palate. I don't think it's going to be too drying for a lot of people's palates, but for me, I'm pretty sensitive to that. I do not like a whiskey that zaps my palate. Not that I don't like that. It's great. It's just I wouldn't. If it was $85, I would be a buy all day long. 85, $90, buy all day long on that. All right, the other release, we've talked about this a little bit before in past live streams. We're gonna do one more corn whiskey after this. That I think tastes kind of similar, if I remember correctly. So I'm interested. I got a surprise for you guys coming up. All right. Let's see. So this other release. Now I'll probably never see a bottle, but I'm gonna try my damnedest to get this bottle because Jack 12 is one of my favorite bottles. So if I can get a bottle of this Jack 14. I don't know if the proof is right on that at 125. Because sometimes, when they submit their labels to the TTB, they don't have to have the proof exactly right. So I'm not sure that proof is right. I know Jack 12 was 100 proof, and it is proofed so perfectly. It is a crushable bottle. And if Jack 14 doesn't go too heavy on the oak and keeps all the characteristics of Jack 12, but just adds a little bit of darkness and some proof, holy crap, man, that's going to be a bottle. That is going to be a bottle. So what do you guys feel about that? that's probably one I'll be hunting the most, honestly, because I freaking love Jack 12. All right, let me get this bottle for you guys. This is a crazy one. All right. So for those that don't know, David and Kira, formerly of Shelf Turds, they changed their name to whiskeychannel.com or something like that. When my wife had cancer, they put on this fundraiser for us, which was very, very nice of them. Raised some money for us. And then they were kind of the catalyst for Barrels for Hope. So after they did that, I told them, I said, man, you guys are too nice. You didn't need to do that. When my wife gets through this, I don't know how I'm going to pay it forward, but we'll figure something out. And we did. We figured it out. I talked to Narav at day one. We came up with this idea for barrels. Actually, Narav and I didn't come up with it. I asked Narav what he could do, and he said he'd do whatever I wanted. And then I got a couple whiskey tube channels on the phone, and we started talking about getting a charity organization together. And then Narav was gracious enough to give us 6 barrels a year at cost, and so we could donate everything back to charity, which is how we donate $40,000 a year to charity, probably more, but our first year probably $40,000. So David and Kira of Shelf Turds kind of kicked that all off, and so this is a pick of theirs. It's Canadian whiskey. It's Obtainium. It's called Brain Candy. And it is hazmat. This stuff is so I've taken this a lot. This is a fun game I love to play. But they dipped it in wax and then put these sprinkles on top of it. So I cuss at them every time I open this damn bottle because I get sprinkles everywhere. But this bottle is so much fun because this was distilled in 1995. So it's very old. And the percent by volume is 78.2% by volume. So what is that? 156 proof or something crazy, something like that. So we're going to have a pour of that, and hopefully I can walk tomorrow because this stuff makes your toes sweat. Okay. See, I got stickers everywhere, or little, whatever you call them. We're not going to pour much of this, but this is such a fun bottle because it drinks a lot less than its proof of 156 or whatever. But it's really fun to play guess the proof. I mean, I've had people guess this proof at 107 before, so really kind of crazy. But if I remember correctly, I haven't had this bottle in a while. It has those kind of cotton candy, vanilla notes that maybe is just a characteristic of Canadian whiskey. I just don't drink enough Canadian whiskey, but oh man, on the nose, it's hot. Oh, Ed Sturger's in the house. Hey, let's give it up. This is a good bottle to toast to Ed because Ed is newly married. Congratulations, buddy. I love you, man. You're the best. I have a wedding gift for you too. Are you ready? Wedding gift coming up.
Fuck off, Ed. Fuck off, Ed.
Fuck off, Ed. Fuck off, Ed.
Fuck off, Ed.
I love you, buddy. Never gets old. All right, let's see. Brad says, I hope the Jack 14 is more like 110, no higher. Don't want the proof to overpower the rest. Yeah, I agree, Brad. I agree. I'm really loving that, 110 to 115 proof right now. I'm honestly reaching for a lot of bottles that are 100 proof right now. So, all right. Cheers to Ed. Let's take a sip of this 156 proof corn whiskey. Fuck me, man. All right. I can't have a lot of that. But I will say, oh my God, that thing zaps you. Oh my God, it does make your toes sweat. You can feel it evaporating from every pore in your body. What a fun pick, though, man. This is the great thing about whiskey tube channels and about store picks. And when you get something crazy like this, man, there's so much fun. It's so much fun to just, I mean, you're never going to find that 156 proof, 26-year-old. Is that what it was? Something 20 some year old whiskey by some awesome people, man. That's what it's all about. That's what makes being a whiskey nerd so much fun. I love it. So that's kind of one of those, like, I think cultish bottles. It's kind of fun. All right, everybody's saying what's up, Ed. I have to take a breath. Terry, what the hell? Edible sprinkles? Surely not. Yeah, no, they're not edible. I don't think they're edible. I don't know. Did they put real sprinkles on there? They might. Those look deteriorated now. Like you know how when sugar kind of deteriorates, those might be edible. They might have put edible sprinkles on there. Those fuckers. Never had my toes sweat. Jim, damn, you gonna make it to work tomorrow? Yeah, we'll make it to work. We'll make it. Let me take another sip. It's God bless it. It's got worse. It was it was pretty decent. It was that vanilla kind of Laffy Taffy cotton candy kind of thing that I get in a lot of Canadian whiskeys. As you can tell, the bottle's getting pretty low, so it's getting that bottle's turning into Mike Tyson, man. It'll knock you out. Oh yeah, man. Now the finish is. Whew. He's trying to compete with Fred 100 whiskeys in one night. No, definitely not. I love it, Nick. Do not eat plastic sprinkles. You know I do it, Ed. TCT, what's up, man? I haven't seen you in the chat. Cheers. Lance, would you trade an Elmer T and an E.H. Taylor small batch for an Elijah Craig barrel proof A119? I can't remember A119. I might have one back there. So me personally, I think I'm unusual in that I'm not crazy about Elmer T. Lee. It's fine at the price it should be, $40 or whatever. It's fine. I have a bottle back there. Man, I never reach for that bottle. It's just, it looks good on your shelf. It's impressive when people come over. It is a good bottle to pour to people who are newer to whiskey, who are looking for something, quote unquote smooth that doesn't fight them, which is fine. That's the only reason I ever pour that bottle is if someone's come over. In fact, our last Christmas party, we had a bunch of family over that had just started getting into whiskey, and they were freaking out over Elmer T. Lee, and it was because they all kept saying it's so smooth, which is just a new bourbon drinker's way of saying it doesn't fight you, and that's what you equate good bourbon with, which isn't true, obviously, but everything's context. So for a new bourbon drinker, it's great. I am not that big of a fan of Elmer T. Lee. E.H. Taylor small batch, I've found some variants with those. Some of them I've found really good bottles, and some of them just okay. The one I have up there right now, I really like. It's pretty good. It's pretty good pour. Now, Elijah Craig barrel proof A119, you're talking about a 12-year barrel proof uncut. For me, I love those more than E.H. Taylor small batch and Elmer T. Lee. But it's not worth what Elmer T. Lee and E.H. Taylor small batch are on secondary, I don't believe. But I never trade for what the prices are on secondary. I trade for what I want to drink. So, like, I think I actually traded an Elmer T. Lee for a Discovery 3, a Bardstown Discovery 3, because I love that bottle. And I traded a Weller 12 for a Remus 4, a Remus 3 or a Remus 4. because I like those. I'll drink those more than I'll drink Elmer T. Lee and Weller 12. But some people love those bottles, so it's hard for me to tell you whether to do that trade if unless I know your palate. If you like barrel strength, for me, I would do that trade because I like Elijah Craig barrel proof way more than I like E.H. Taylor small batch and Elmer T. Lee. But some people would say that's crazy, probably. TCT, I feel the same way. Appreciate your channel. Oh, nice. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for tuning in on a Thursday night. I love doing these live streams. I've really got excited about doing these live streams. I love coming on with you guys. It's fun, man. I love just sipping whiskey with you guys and doing crazy tastings that only true bourbon nerds would like. Like I knew tonight wasn't gonna have a lot of viewers because we're drinking Canadian whiskey and most people could probably care less. If I posted 3 bottles of Blanton's on my thumbnail, we'd have 5 times the amount of viewers. But that's not why my channel exists. It's for bourbon nerds and to hopefully help people get into bourbon. I hope you guys have enjoyed the review. I just posted a review on Hard Truth. I've got 2 more reviews coming. I've got that I've actually recorded. I just need to edit. So I've got Bacta 1928 and then the Barrel Craft Spirits Madeira cask, which both of those bottles I loved. I will tell you guys, I'm probably going to edit the Bacta 1928 next. That's an unusual one because that's a bottle that I freaking love. And I have not had a single person I've poured it for enjoy it. So I am out in left field on that bottle. But, I got to tell you guys what I think. And I freaking love that bottle. But nobody I've poured it for likes it. And now, granted, most people I pour it for are just drink bourbon and aren't rye guys necessarily. And this is a rye finished in what's Bacta 19 Calvados and cognac, I believe. But it's got some like 1928, some like 1941, 1946, got some really old vintage whiskeys blended in. But I freaking love it. But you guys will see in the review that just take that with a grain of salt. It's probably a try before you buy because most people that I've given it to don't like it. And I loved it. But my point is, in these new reviews that I've been doing, I changed my scoring system. Instead of doing a scoring system, I just tell you guys whether I think it's a buy or pass based on where you are in your bourbon journey. So to TCT's point, I think when a lot of reviewers do reviews, and they tell you, they could do Elijah Craig barrel proof and tell you that it's 100% buy. Well, it is for somebody that's been into bourbon for a while, but it's not for a beginner. No beginner is going to pour Elijah Craig barrel proof and enjoy it. It's going to be too hot. It's going to fight them too much. And that's where I think that a lot of the channels are missing. That's a gap in reviews. So I've been trying to do all my reviews until beginners, intermediates, and then bourbon aficionados, whether it's a buy or pass, and then tell you guys whether I think you should bunker some bottles if it's really good, or whether I would bunker some bottles. And then and hopefully you guys enjoy that. It's a little bit different take. I've kind of, the channel's kind of evolved a little bit that way, rather than what it was in the past. So TCT is doing the trade. Go for it, man. Awesome. It's just bourbon. In the end, it's just bourbon, man. We talk about that all the time when especially with Barrels for Hope, man, we have board meetings and we'll argue about picks or, how many bottles people should get or all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, man, in the end, it's just bourbon. Just bourbon. There'll be more of it. Ed Liar. Oh, Ed, you liked it? I don't remember you liking Bacta. I thought you didn't like it, but that's awesome if you liked it. You're the only one. I gave it to Josh with Stuff and Whiskey, Jeffrey Wack with Hello Again Whiskey Friends. They hated it. They thought I was crazy for how much I love that. I know Matt with ADHD hates it. Yeah, there's no love for that bottle in the whiskey tube community. And I think there should be, man. I think it's great. I love it. All right, guys. Well, I think that does it for tonight. We're at an hour and 6 minutes. I try to keep these about an hour. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Always fun. Let's see. Next Thursday night, will I be live? We'll see. I will probably be live next Thursday night. I think so. Yeah, I think I'll try to go live. I don't know what we're going to do. If you guys have suggestions, let me know. As always, thank you guys so much for the support. If you want to join Patreon, you can do so for as little as $2 a month. Just search Whiskey Tornado. If you're more interested in barrel picks and money going to charity, you can join Barrels for Hope Patreon for as little as $5 a month. I think all our memberships, our monthly memberships, are sold out on Barrels for Hope, but there are $5 memberships open. So until then, we'll see you guys next Thursday. Love you guys very much. Thanks for everything. Thanks for tuning in and making this a fun live stream. We'll see how I recover from 156 proof corn whiskey. Cheers, everybody.